Live from Toronto at the National Tennis Center, York University, the Players' Challenge. Brought to you by the CTV Television Network and their affiliates across Canada.
Partly cloudy skies, very cool temperatures, and strong winds in Toronto as we present the final of the Players' Challenge. Saturday afternoon in the semifinals, American Pam Shriver played the match of her life. After 18 straight losses to Chris Everett, she upsets her good friend and the tournament's #1 seed to go to the final, where she will meet American Zina Garrison, who completed her impressive climb to the final by beating West Germany's Bettina Bunga in the other semi. Hello again, everybody. I'm Peter Young. Welcome to the National Tennis Center at York University in Toronto. We're being blasted by high winds today, and that will certainly have an effect on today's match. Joining us at the broadcast booth, former Wimbledon champion Virginia Wade. Virginia, Zina Garrison has spent a lot of hours on the courts here at the National Tennis Center this week.
Yes, she has. She's in the final of the doubles as well, and she's had close matches, except for yesterday when it was very easy. She's playing well. You know, she had this foot injury. It took her a little time to get back, but basically this year she hasn't lost to anybody that she should have beaten. So I honestly think she's a very tough person to play against. She's deceptive. She covers the court so well. I think she's got a reasonable chance out here today.
All right, she'll have to go up against Pam Shriver, who yesterday played the match of her life. And joining us in the broadcast booth right now to talk about Pam Shriver is Don Fontana, former Canadian Davis Cup star. Can Pam come up with that emotional high again and get up to that level?
Peter, I think she can, and I was extremely impressed with her before she played Chris in her quarterfinal match against Gabriella Sabatini, who I didn't think she could beat, but she ended up beating her 6-2, 6-1, and she did most of it from the baseline, an unfamiliar position for her. Against Everett, of course, as we know, a great lift to beat Chris the first time in 19 meetings. She has a 3-2 edge over Zina Garrison. If she plays well and she doesn't get on a low, I think she'll come through and possibly win that match today.
All right, Pam Shriver against Zina Garrison, battling the elements and each other as they compete for the championship in the Players' Challenge right after this.
Today.
Pam Shriver from Louisville, Maryland, on the right of the screen, 25 years of age, 23-year-old Zina Garrison from Houston, Texas on the left. And they're just going through their final warm-up hits before we go right at it in the Players' Challenge Championship singles match. As you can see, 3 wins to 2 for Pam head-to-head. That goes back way back to 1972 when Pam Shriver won in Houston. Then 84 in New Jersey on cement. Shriver again. Garrison won one in the Virginia Slims in New Orleans. Then Shriver won in Los Angeles in 85. Their most recent was Sydney, Australia, 87 on grass. Garrison winning the final over Pam Shriver. So mentally that has to give her a boost going into another final. Mind you, I don't think they played in winds like this, Virginia.
Well, probably done in Australia. There was some wind because there very often is in Sydney where they played. But the wind is not easy out there. It seems that the ball is quite well protected most of the time, but suddenly out of the blue, a ball will just go wildly astray. So if you don't have your wits about you and your total concentration on the job at the time, you're going to hit some very strange shots.
Find your seats quickly, please.
And the players were saying that the wind today is different than the wind yesterday. And Virginia, you were out playing this morning at the tennis center. How did you find those conditions?
I'll tell you, Virginia wasn't playing to crowds like this today because it's going to be sold out here, but I'm sure that it was just as entertaining, your match, Virginia.
Well, actually, we hit out there and it is considerably more protected. But it still isn't easy, and you know the flags make such a noise slapping around that you have to concentrate. But these girls are.
You sit down at the ends, please.
Not too bad at that.
Well, they're probably used to the crowds, as you mentioned. They're used to the noise, but the wind swirls down here at center court, and it can change direction on you almost midpoint. Pam Shriver opens up with service.
And Pam has the first point.
And it seems quite obvious what her game plan will be. Into the net. Even on second serve. Well left.
There's never any mystery really about Pam's game. You know, she doesn't have all that much variety, but what she does so well, and she does come in just constantly. Great volley.
But in her previous 2 matches against Chris Evert and Gabriela Sabatini, she did play a fair percentage of tennis from the back of the court.
40-15.
So far, she has been at the net on every point.
Pam Shriver holds to open the match. Zina Garrison has her first chance to serve right after this. The Players' Challenge continues. We're in the first set of the women's double, and make that the women's singles final here at the National Tennis Center at York University in Toronto. Zina Garrison and her partner Laurie McNeil still have to come back to the courts later to play in the doubles final. Zina's been on the court more than Pam because of the fact that she's played both sides of the draw. Two to one, Shriver leads in the first set.
30 love.
And that is just another of Zina's good backhand volleys. She closes in so well. We were saying it earlier this week, we didn't know why she didn't serve and volley more. I think she feels obligated to do that against Pam. And when you do it as well as that, I mean, you ask yourself, why not do it all the time? But, you know, when you play against somebody who, like Pam, who you know is going to come into the net all the time, one of your objectives is to get to the net before them.
It's going to be a foot race to the net this afternoon.
Game, Garrison.
Zina holds 2-all.
2 games all.
Pam Shriver said earlier today that she felt that the serve of Zina's might let her down. She hadn't been serving all that well. So I said, you know, her first serve has been good, but her second serve isn't all that good. But when Zina serves as high a percentage of first serves as she has, that's okay. Great volley.
And talking of a great close, there was one by Pam Shriver. Good half volley. Zina with the attempted pass. Look at that reach and that close by Pam Shriver.
So
30 love.
Love.
And Pam Shriver almost let an easy point get away from her.
that's
Great
tremendous.
passing shot. 40-15.
Well, the approach shot,
40,
as we'll
15.
see here, was not that well directed or deep, and Zina had a lot of time to do a number of things.
Game,
Pam puts it away, and 2 consecutive strong service games leave it at 3-2. First set, Shriver on top. The Players' Challenge continues in a moment.
Find seats quickly, please.
Welcome back to the National Tennis Center at York University in Toronto. Zina Garrison preparing to serve. It's 3-2 Shriver, first set. No service breaks.
And that point nicely set up by that good forehand return by Pam Shriver.
Love 30.
Well, that was a little bit lucky because that was an awfully good serve, and Zina was in position. This net has been doing that this week. It's been absolutely dropping the ball completely dead. Probably just a little looser.
Love 30. Good placement. 15-30.
15-30.
Well, a slightly strange point this, because that other shot, both the players getting a little confused there.
Thought Pam was pretty fortunate to be able to return that ball, that overhead that was a let court.
Yeah.
Tough shot.
She didn't quite put, neither of them put it away. Look at that, 3 out of 3.
Oh, it's even up time.
Well,
30 all.
30 all.
usually in a situation like this, umpire Bill Kempfer asked the let court judge perhaps at the end of this game to just double check the height of that net. It's some weird goings on out there.
Oh, that's a good shot. You know, the court is bouncing very low, so you're going to be skimming the net by less than you normally would. That's probably why. And they do have a singles net up too. I don't know, it always seems as if it's a little higher at the sides, and they have it as a singles net.
Break point for Pam. Nurses that one back in.
This.
You know, Zina has really improved a tremendous amount. She stays in the point so well, and it would have been quite forgiven if she hadn't really chased that shot so effectively as she did. That was an awfully good return from Pam.
And Pam says, ah, yes. She knew she couldn't reach the lob. And that was a shot that was so effective yesterday for Garrison in defeating Bettina Bunga of West Germany.
Game, Garrison.
Zina fights off the break point and holds service. 3-all. First set.
I'll tell you that Zina Garrison is in every point. I mean, she just does not give up. Look at this hustle again. You think she was beaten, but no way.
Now, you could see in that shot that there was no way Pam knew which way to cover. She just could not read the passing shot. Now, just look at that service percentage from Garrison 91. She's only missed 2 or 3 first serves. Now, if Pam was hoping for her to serve badly, it hasn't happened. Good stuff.
Garrison was saying yesterday, Virginia, that after Pam had defeated Chris Everett, that she thought that she was going to have to serve a lot better than she did against Bettina Bunga if she were to be able to defeat Pam Shriver today. And those percentages prove that she is doing that.
30-15.
Ace for Shriver. Second one of the match for her. 30-15.
She started serving much better in the last couple of games. Often takes a little time to get your rhythm going. And this end, when you get the ball up, the wind pushes it forward. So it's so easy to dump it like she just did that first serve.
Forty 15.
Do you not think it would be a better play when Pam comes in with that backhand cross-court approach to Zina's backhand? She's hitting it so well to maybe take the angle away and go right down the middle, because Zina is really in the groove.
I agree with you.
Ball blows long. Shriver holds service. And they're on serve. 4-3 Shriver in the first set. The Players' Challenge continues after this.
Sit down at the ends, please. Thank you.
Welcome back to the National Tennis Center. On serve, 4-3, Shriver leading. Zina Garrison serving.
15 love.
That's a very good play from Pam.
15 all.
Made the return and came in, taking that next one in the air.
And you learn that counter-attack volleying method from playing so much doubles. Pam being one of the best in the world, along with partner Martina Navratilova.
She certainly deserved that.
Unbelievable play by Zina Garrison to win that point.
You know, she moves so well. Watch her footwork. It's so, she takes such
30,
small steps, and this is why she is able to change direction so quickly. But she's fast. Now, it puts so much pressure on the person at the net. If you know your opponent is scrambling all over the place, diving, getting to everything, you start having to try to make better shots. That's when the errors creep in. You know, I just want to go on with that. You win so many points by trying for balls which you probably can't even get.
Sure, because you unnerve your opponent.
You know, you watch so many players who just don't even bother. They're ready to give their opponent a hand, and the opponent just gets confident. Good playing.
On the line.
Precision backhand down the line, and that's the second like that Shriver has hit.
40-30.
Seems to be playing this shot with a great deal more confidence than in previous years. Look at how she just lines that up and goes right down the line. Made up her mind and executed.
And Zina was there too. She was ready for it. She just couldn't. It was too good. Yeah, that's too good too.
Deuce.
Deuce.
You know, Virginia, as you were saying on that point that she hustles so much to win, that would have been a service break now if she hadn't won that point.
Yeah.
Advantage Garrison.
Advantage Garrison.
There's a gutsy point from Zina. We just lost two. Always a hard game, this 4-3 game. You know, it's always hard when you're both serving and volleying to be the one who's coming second the whole time. That means you've always got to win your serve to stay level.
Always trying to play catch-up.
She rushed that.
That will blow out. I'll throw out a question to both of you analysts. Pam is 6 feet tall. Zina's 5'4". Therefore, Pam has to throw the ball up higher into this wind. Will it make a difference?
Well, it's a very good question, but she doesn't actually throw the ball any higher. I suppose she does, but she has a relatively low toss, Pam. Zina has a higher toss. You know, if the actual distance of the toss is only a couple of feet, the wind's not going to have a chance to do too much with it. It's when your toss is actually much higher that then anything can happen to it. Very difficult to control. I think in the wind you need to put your toss up a little bit later and lower.
Or let it fall every once in a while.
Sure, why hit it if it's
not where you want
blown over your head?
Game Garrison.
Zina holds. It's 4-all first set.
I'm very impressed with the way that Zina is serving today. She still has scarcely missed a first serve. The service action has been worked on a lot. It used to be a little calculated, a little contrived. Now it looks like a very natural service action. And I mean the footwork position.
And again, the lob by Garrison set up the winning forehand. You see, it wasn't a great lob, but it forced Pam to change direction and then put her out of court, and all she could do is watch the passing shot. That's such a difficult volley to make out of your stomach like that, but she does it so well and so often. Could just as easily have gone into the bottom of the net.
Hit the corner. 15-30.
Zina gets down so low to the ball.
Over the last half dozen points, the end of the last game and this game, you feel that Zina is the one in ascendance right now. So, awfully good serve.
Right on the line.
Oh. Yeah, did you
just and when you needed it.
She knew she rushed that shot. She's worked a lot, Zina, on taking a bit more time. John Wilkerson, her coach, he's so philosophical, but he used to laugh because he said, she just goes like a steam engine out there.
Break point for Zina.
And a super move by Garrison with that
30-40.
Return of serve to the net, catching Pam Shriver pretty well unawares.
Deuce.
Oh, that's a cardinal sin to not put the return in play when you have game point. Break point.
And especially after you played such a great point to set up the break point.
It was as if she wasn't quite ready.
Well left by Pam Shriver, and she has advantage. It's 4-all first set.
No question, Peter, that Pam is moving better since she lost 10 pounds and has been doing some weightlifting and watching her diet very carefully.
Much similar to the program I would think that Helen Kelsey went on. She was telling us about it at the Sun Life Nationals, how she went on a weight reduction, strength building course. Deuce.
Well, I think that there's no way you can survive in this world at the moment. It's so competitive unless you are ultimately fit and healthy. And, you know, if you're fit and strong, you're going to feel much more like fighting. If you know that you are the fittest person out on the court, you're going to be damned if you let them beat you.
That's Yvonne Lendel's theory.
Not just.
Well, what can you say about that?
Advantage Shriver.
Really tough point altogether because so much was happening with the wind changing balls, and then did you see how the net went
Trickled
down
right along
as it hit and dribbled over? Oh, good heavens!
What a backhand by Zina Garrison.
Deuce.
Deuce.
I'm sure Pam Shriver thought she had won the point.
Close.
Very close. Will Zina try to chip and charge?
Ball's long, and a break point for Garrison.
A little tension in Pam's game right here. She's rushed a few shots. But you know, this is where Pam's been so much better. Is when she's played an unforced error like that. She's just calmed down, just got on with it. She hasn't wasted any energy or concentration moaning or groaning about it.
I was going to say, do you think that Garrison changed her mind with that forehand?
Advantage Shriver.
Advantage Shriver.
It's a long game.
Deuce.
Well, you can't serve any better than that.
Deuce.
And Shriver has to be thinking.
4-all first set.
Right. I've got to hold serve.
Stereo. And another break point for Garrison.
She stays so well on balance when she hits these passing shots. One of the main keys to hitting a passing shot is to be early prepared like this and then just take your time and stay on balance.
An awfully good first serve by Pam Shriver. So difficult to serve that well under pressure.
Good backhand volley too.
You know, with Chris Evert being sidelined, both players obviously feel that they can win this major championship, Virginia. So I think there's added pressure this afternoon.
Deuce.
Half volley attempt just wide of that sideline.
You see, Zina hits the ball so early on the return that Pam hasn't really got into position, and it's very low, and she has to really make the shot before she's on balance.
21st point of the game. Advantage Shriver.
Advantage Shriver.
Saw there on your screen, Zina down, but certainly not out.
But has to be thinking of the 3 break points in this, the longest game of the match.
For service.
Well, they were break points, Peter, but on each occasion, Shriver rose to the occasion.
And she finally rises to the occasion of winning the game. It took long enough, but Pam Shriver holds a 5-4 lead. They're on serve in the first
Ball
set.
change, please.
The Players' Challenge continues after this. First service percentages much higher for Zina Garrison.
Certainly are, aren't they?
Has to be very difficult to break your opponent's serve when they're serving at 94%.
Love.
Pam getting herself just a little bit trapped in no man's land behind that service line in front of the baseline.
Yeah, that backhand pass down the line. I think you probably should be covering that. I think it looks as if she's going to go down there. I don't think she could have gone cross court with that, but it's so good that you've got to be all the way over there. But you see, Pam is beginning to cover the cross court forehand.
30 all.
I like the way she put that volley away. Very decisive. And Zina finally misses the first service.
I think that's only the third first service she's missed all match.
Can't remember too many.
And that's out of about 30 or something. Good shot.
40-30.
You know, when I spoke to John Wilkerson this morning, it's funny because he made a mistake. He said Zina actually beat her the last twice, and in actual fact she didn't. But that must mean that psychologically in her mind she feels that she's beaten her the last 2 times they've played. She certainly beat her the last time.
Might have beaten her in doubles.
Deuce.
We went to deuce 7 times in the previous game.
Shriver saving 3 break points. Garrison herself has been down 3 break points in 2 different service games.
Great point for Shriver.
She made a tactical error there, didn't she? That
She did.
Probably just too difficult to do well against Pam, that lob volley, and she really paid the price for that.
Also, I like the way Pam took her time when she did have the opening. Didn't rush.
track meet to get to that point.
Game.
And the first break comes at a crucial time for Pam Shriver because it not only gives her the first set but allows her to start serving in the second.
Shriver wins the first set, 6 games to 4.